Okay, today we are embarking on something new and exciting. We are going to fly military space available to Italy. Okay, so let me introduce myself. I'm April. This is my channel, and this is my husband, Alan, who is actually in the Army. He's just on leave, so he's grown a beard. Anyway, so I know like as a military family, we've been in 21 years and we've never flown Space A. I've always been a little afraid of it because you have to have flexibility, and that can be scary for people. And also, sometimes you just don't know what's available to you. So, we're going to tell you basically just how we're navigating this process for the first time. And I had nothing to do with it. Alan did all of it. So, I'm going to let him do most of the talking, and I'm just going to be the filmer.
The way this all played out, we put our name, well, when your leave form is signed, or your, whatever the others, Army call it, leave form, is signed, and you sign out on leave. So the first day of your leave, you call and email, rather, the air bases and naval air stations, whatever air bases around it. We're in Washington, D.C., so I sent my leave form as well as an email with the requisite information required for the AMC website, Air Mobility Command website, to Fort Dix, New Jersey, Norfolk, Virginia, Naval Air Station, or Naval Base, Norfolk, Joint Base Andrews, Baltimore, Washington International, which is a huge one actually, and one more, Dover Air Force Base. And with those five, we thought something's going somewhere in Europe. If you want to go to the West Coast and go out to Japan or Korea, Hawaii, that's a different option. But we're trying to go to Europe for our 20th anniversary, postponed a year for a temporary duty location I had to go to on our 20th anniversary. So here we are.
How did you know how to email all those locations? Like, where did you get that information?
Word of mouth. So word of mouth, going to the AMC travel website. There's some pull downs, you'll see them. And it says, if you want to fly space available, click here. You click on it, it says, email us with this information. I think it's your name, your duty, or your name.
We'll provide the link to that AMC website that you're talking about.
Okay. So we do that, and then also, if we're going to Europe, so I went to the UCOM terminals, and I submitted our name similarly, the leave form and date and request to all of those terminals.
Did you get to those UCOM terminals from that?
Same link, same website.
Okay, I can't say that word, but yeah, okay, good.
Same website. We, so thankfully, I put those in for Italy. We thought we were going to Germany. We've been on Duolingo for 3 months now. I was 3 months into my German lessons, and we shifted to Italy 3 days ago when the flight that was going to Ramstein, Germany, had 0 seats available. We just thought for sure in this time frame we were in, something out of those 5 places would be going to Ramstein, Germany. Unfortunately, it wasn't. However, out of Norfolk, Virginia, there's flights going to Naples, Italy, and then, oddly enough, the return flight is out of Sigonella Naval Air Station. So
in Italy, which is great. I mean, I like Italy better. I'm thrilled.
So yeah, we're going to go to Italy. We've done 1 unit in Duolingo.
We don't really know Italian at all.
Yeah, buongiorno.
We know Spanish. They're kind of similar.
Yeah, it's a Latin language, so it does have a little bit of a. Anyway, you're asking about Space A, so go to the website, just get your name in the hat, and then you will get an email reply, which is hugely important. Getting the email reply, it says no reply stuff on it, but that has a return to you that says you've successfully signed up, and it has your email with a date timestamp. Print those out. This is what the terminals have told me to do. Bring your leave form and that printout email that says when you signed up. For me, it was June 26th, I believe, and here it is July 9th. So we're 2-3 weeks into it. So we should be high on the list. Rumor has it there are somehow commanding officers that are willing to sign leave form that that's an erroneous leave form that's fake. Thing you can't. No words for that. I don't know how to get around that. But authentically sign out when when your leave is signed out. You just go and put in for those terminals where you're going from and where you're returning from. Put it all out there. So I've got all my sheets of paper that have every no reply, confirmation from where I've signed up, and my leave form in hand. So when we show up there for roll call, And tomorrow morning is a 10 o'clock roll call at Norfolk to fly out 125 seats on their 72-hour tracker. And as you go to the AMC website, you click on the CONUS terminal, pull down, went to Norfolk, which is where I signed up, but there's also a 30-day projection, which is what we're banking on, which is how we've planned this route. The 72-hour projection, which you click on, and then that gives you more fidelity, how many seats, if it's tentative or firm. Right now we have 125 tentative seats tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. Odds are pretty high.
So we're optimistic.
Very optimistic. And we called the airline, we called the desk this morning, and they said it is a 767. So we were curious if it would be a C5 or C-17 or if it'd be a commercial aircraft, because it would depend on one would be heated in mid-flight or not, and so if it's not, and you're on a military aircraft, bona fide military aircraft, you want to take some kind of warm
blanket,
a blanket or something.
Jackets.
Yeah, so here we are. We drove to Norfolk tonight, so that we're in a Navy Lodge here tonight. Less than $100 stays, which is going to turn out well for us, I think. We're here. The air base is real close, so we'll go there in the morning for roll call at 10. Understand we have to be there. I'll be at 8:30 or 9 to sign up and let them know that we are here. I show them the leave form and when I signed up, so that I'm on the order of merit list. Wherever I rank, it's not rank based, it's time based, from what I understand. But we're going to let them know this is when I signed up. So we'll be on that list of order merit list, and we'll see what happens tomorrow.
We're just gonna hope. Okay, one more question. Who is eligible to fly space available? Do this. Who's eligible to do this?
But from what I can tell you, I saw on the website, Category 1 are those on PCS orders or emergency leave. So if you have orders to go to Italy for a PCS move, you're at the top of the list. You're going to go on an aircraft. That is, in fact, how they schedule the aircraft to go, so that there happen to be available seats later, from what I understand. The second category are those that are on, and that may be emergency leave, maybe Category 2. I can't recall exactly. Category 3, leisure travel. Those that are house hunting or leisure travel. That's where active duty.
Yeah, I was going to ask, yeah.
Yep. Fourth category is 5th and 6th, that goes into dependents or retirees. It's all on the website that we'll send you.
But since I'm a dependent, but I'm with you, I get your priority status, right?
I don't know. You're with me, yes.
We'll find out
with me.
Yeah, I'm
absolutely.
with you. Okay. Without you, no, I'm a dependent. That's
different. I think
different.
you'd be a Category 4 or 5 or whatever the other category would be.
Okay. All right, cool. All right. Thanks, Ellen. I appreciate this.
Good luck.
Okay, so we are here day 2 and we are in Norfolk, and this is the day that we fly out, and we are actually going to Italy. This is actually working. It's insane. I'll let Alan tell you exactly what happened. Yeah.
Okay, well, good morning. So we had a good success this morning. We showed up at the roll call time, before the roll call time, about an hour and a half before, before the line got too long. We showed them the printout that I, said that I signed up when I did, my leave form, and our ID card, and they checked our passports. And they said, you're all checked in, you're good to go. And they sent us over to the ticketing line. So we went to the ticketing line.
Because they selected us.
Well, yeah, now whether they selected us or not at that moment, it sounded like they did.
No,
but
he said they did.
So they did. If we were Category 3, a lot of folks there are Category 4, 5, and 6. Apparently Norfolk is a very reliable place to fly Space A out of, so a lot of people are doing it. Anyway, it's all hearsay from the people around in the terminal. But we got ticketed for $42 for the 2 of us, credit card only, and they gave us tickets, asked if we wanted an aisle or a window, and in a middle seat, and we chose window. And now they said show back up before 1 o'clock, so here we are. We're ticketed. A roll call at 10 o'clock was nothing really for us because we already had our ticket. So now we're just going to the PX and pick up 1 or 2 things that we think we could probably use that we didn't pack, and life is good. We're gonna go to Italy.
Yay! Okay, so I'm recording this now a good solid week after our whole Space A travel experience. And I'm happy to tell you that everything went really well. We able to fly that day when we had the tickets and I was making the film in the car. And then we were able to fly back as planned. So that all went really well. Mm-hmm. So what are a few things that you think that they should know?
Travel day is a whole day. We showed up at roll call. We were the first ones there because we were just a little worried. We didn't know what would happen, but we show up. We waited on the roll call. There was a delay in the flight. We ended up sitting in the airfield or at the air base at Norfolk for it was hours.
5 hours.
It was longer than that. It was I would put it more like 7. We did a lot of walking around, but we were checked in, so we weren't worried about losing our space.
True.
But took a while to take off. So when it finally did take off, they had a layover in
Ireland.
In Ireland. Yep, that was another 3 or 4 hours. It was a long layover, and of course April was very, very tired. I was too.
I mean, I remember it being like an hour. Maybe I slept through most of it.
She slept through a lot of it, but yeah, it was a long layover. And then we got back on the plane, and then we landed in Naples. And
I remember waking up and you're sitting across from me and I'm like,
well,
I'm sleeping.
by the time we got to Naples,
people are awake.
It was our first travel. We figured we'd have that whole day to tour Rome or Naples, but we got there. It was already 1 in the afternoon when we landed local time. We had to find a bus to get us to the train station to take the train up to Rome.
That goes into we're way off topic.
All right. Well, it was a whole day shot
Yeah.
just to travel.
So just plan that if you're flying Space A, that day is shot, okay?
Coming home wasn't much different.
It was it was worse. It was more hours of waiting. But anyway, so just know that you have to give it a whole day and that roll call is hours before your flight is even thinking about leaving.
Hurry up and wait, soldier. But I'll tell you this, it's worth the wait because it was only $20 per person. And then
Now,
coming back, it was
back,
about 60 per person.
Yeah,
but even
it was
still,
more.
well worth it.
It was 40, so I think all total was 80. So it was not bad.
Well worth it. The other thing I wanted to mention was they served us food on the plane, which was great
3
because
times.
we had a charter flight. So the charter flight worked out better that way. If you get on a military aircraft, C-5, C-17, whatever they were flying, it's going to be cold from what I hear, and they don't serve you meals. They'll give you a box lunch before you get on. But we had a charter flight with Omni, and then
both ways.
It was Omni one way and Atlas coming back,
Yeah.
but we had meals served. They fed us 2 or 3 times. It was more than enough food.
That was awesome.
good.
So it was really like flying a normal airplane. And with extra seats. Okay, that's another key. When you pick your Space A flight, don't pick one that only has 1 or 2 seats available. Like you're setting yourself up for disappointment. We picked flights that had how many seats available that first one have?
40 or more.
It was a lot.
Maybe
I thought it was
120.
like 100 and something.
Yeah, it was
and the
100
one coming back had 40 something. And
Yeah.
it was so much easier because they're like, oh yeah, you're definitely going to make this flight. It's going to be no problem. And that was just so nice. And when we didn't leave without having an exit strategy. So when we left America on our Space A flight, we knew that in a week, another plane was scheduled to leave Italy that had some seats available for what we could see.
On the 30-day projection. So we're flying into Naples, but coming home, we're flying back out of Sigonella. It's a 7-hour train ride apart, which is a long train ride, as we
But
can
you
attest
could
to.
fly instead.
But it was a very, very scenic train ride, and a ferry ride that goes over the channel, or the strait there, which is
We're not going to get into that though.
great. We had a Mediterranean cruise.
Yeah, no, we did not have a Mediterranean cruise. Anyway, point being that you want to look at the projections so that you're not just stuck overseas and then having to buy a really expensive plane ticket to get home. So there were multiple families that we saw on both flights that had the same plan as us. And like when we flew over, those families were on that same flight with us, and when we flew back, they were on the same flight with us, because there are 30-day projections that you can use to make your kind of plan. But originally we had planned to fly to Germany because so many planes were going there, and then at the last minute, when we saw that those weren't having any seats, there were less flights going there than there had been, we changed it. So
as a reminder, make sure you put in your leave form and go into all of the AMC terminals, put in that you want to fly from in and out of that airfield all over Europe, or if you're going to Europe, and all over the U.S. on the East Coast, wherever you're flying out of. Anywhere around that you think you might use, go ahead and send it, because it turns out Sigonella was one I had submitted when I first went on leave. I never in 100 years thought we would actually use it. Good thing I did, because we did. And so we had our wait list. We were higher on the wait list because it was the first day I was out on leave. If you're going to Paycom or anywhere in the Pacific, you know, similar thing. Everywhere. Just throw your leave form into the AMC tracker, and good luck. A lot of fun.
Okay, but going back to that, you had emailed all of these places.
It goes through the AMC website, and then says if you want to, you can email them if you don't get a confirmation. I was getting confirmations in the system, so I was getting reply emails that said, "Hey, we've got you on the tracker." So I was happy with that, and I printed that out. So I had that printout and my leave form. Those are the two documents that I mentioned on the last video, handing them at the desk with our ID card and our passport. You had to have it all if you're going to Oconus. Pretty straightforward and pretty simple. I mean, it was, the guy at the counter was going on the same flight we were on. So, I mean, everybody's using it. A lot of retirees. And if you're active duty still, I mean, you're category 3. That's why I think they ticketed us when we got to the counter. They said, yeah, there's 40 seats. Here, here's your tickets. Go ahead and get them over there. So it was very straightforward and very easy.
It was. So, okay, because I'm not the person who did this process, I'm trying to understand. When you contacted these places on AMC, you were...
Air Mobility Command.
Okay.
And that's a website, AMC, I think, amc.mil, but
okay.
Something like that. But
we'll link it down below. I'll check it with him and we'll link it. Okay, but you weren't sending an email, you were clicking on something?
I was applying on the site.
You could
And I
apply on
said,
the
hey,
site.
here's the date
Okay.
I'm on leave. This is the date my leave date ends. These are the flights these are the places I would want to visit from your place.
Okay.
It's been over a month since I did it. So.
But he did it for like multiple ones, because you don't know what might happen and which one you might end up wanting to use, and that was good because we had not originally planned to use Italy, but in the end we did, and he'd already had it. So
plan was Germany.
Yeah.
And then Germany said, hey, 0 seats available. Now I've had friends tell me that, in fact, a buddy of mine went to Germany a week or two before we did, and they were driving to Dover because the flight was going out of Dover, and on the way to Dover the flight changed, so they had to fly back, or they drove back to BWI. He had a family of 4, drove back to BWI. But we've all learned, he and I together comparing notes, you can show up at a terminal, it may say there's 0 seats, but if that flight is going out, the load plan may change, and they may open up a few seats. And they may have 0 available based on projections from people who are assigned to get on that Patriot Express that's going out of BWI or Norfolk. If it's going and it's full of all the people PCSing, it has 0 available. But inevitably, someone's not showing up, and someone's going to cancel the last minute, change of plans, change of whatever, and there will be seats on that flight. So don't assume a 0 available is going to hold true the day of flying, and the contrary can also apply. So it truly is needs of the Army or needs of the military first. The load is going to go before you. You are in every sense of the word. If there's space available, then you can ride on this aircraft.
Yeah, and you can bring your suitcases. There was plenty of room for suitcases. That was not an issue. So people were flying with their pets because they were PCSing. Mm-hmm. So it was like a regular flight that you would take. It was great. So 2 thumbs up from me. I thought it was a great experience.
You still go through customs too.
You do. Anyway, I thought it was a great experience. All right, anything else you want to add?
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. Thanks for watching, and I will link down below these AMC websites. I don't know them, but he does.